it's like show money. Like you can make some money at the end of, let's say you do a show, right? You make $30 for a show or $50. Well, you can go buy pizza with that money, or you can put that in the savings account.
You'll find a video of Fabolous, Dr. Fabolous, and he is discussing
another one of these videos.
I'm sorry, man. He's discussing opportunities in hip hop.
Put me in position to do my thing. That's one of the most some things somebody can give you, not just give you money, because somebody give you money, you're going to spend it and then you back needing money if you don't spend it right. If somebody give you opportunity, that's one of the most valuable somebody could give you. Somebody give you a chance to do something, and now it's on you. I'm going to get you studio. Let me see what you go in there and do. Now you go in the studio and sit around and smoke and drink and don't do nothing. Can't say nothing bad at them. I still try to come out here and say, yo, man, you gave me studio at this time. I had to get in my vibe. I ain't have enough time. We gave you studio, and you said you're a rapper. That's it. That's most somebody could do for you is give you opportunity. Anytime somebody gave me an opportunity, I look at it as I got to make the most of the opportunity. That's how I got in the game. That's how I rap for Clue. Just got a random opportunity, and I said, I don't know when I'm going to get to the game. That's my story. My story is make it the most of, got a chance to make the most of it.
Absolutely.
I ain't get shot 9 times like 50. I ain't have built my own label like Jay. My was I got this opportunity and I burnt it, and it led to where we sitting at now.
So with the conversation about opportunities, I think it's 2 parts on here. One, I think he had a very good point about taking advantage of opportunities. But I also have felt like throughout the course of my time being involved with this, Lone will be able to attest with his own version of it. I feel like sometimes opportunities are not given out as much as they should be. Now, I'm not walking around thinking someone should present me or, spoon feed me with opportunities or make me cut out steps. That's not what I'm talking about. But I've experienced sometimes where people will hoard opportunities. And sometimes it's people that's closer to you than you think. So I guess we can kind of look at it from a couple angles. One, taking advantage of opportunities, but also just in hip hop culture as a whole. Are opportunities given out as much as we think they are? Because I don't think so. In my personal opinion, I don't think so. Jay, you could jump in first if you want.
First of all, in just music overall, there's not as many opportunities to be given out. Okay. Like these record companies, I'm talking about, honestly, entertainment overall, the opportunities are drying up. I mean,
are you speaking from like a commercial type?
Yeah.
Because I'm talking, it doesn't necessarily have to be commercial. It could just be a look, an opportunity just in general. Like
I would need to know kind of what you really kind of mean by a look.
An opportunity.
Because
I like
the vague.
I like the one that he used for the studio, or an opportunity to open for another artist. An opportunity to get a chance.
Those opportunities are there. I mean, literally every tour that comes to town, somebody's opening it is someone that you don't know who they are. That's their opportunity, and they had to do something in order to get that opportunity.
And being said, I don't think that opportunity means as much as people think that it does.
Exactly.
I've opened for Slick Rick. I've been on stage and opened for Rakim.
Okay. I'm saying as far as people that are touring with these people.
Touring may be different.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like a lot of these big opportunities are just that. And even when you capitalize off these things, what exactly is capitalizing off of? Well, if we're speaking from this angle of just like opening for somebody, I don't think it means anything.
So let's do this one then. Let's say, for example,
studio may be a little bit different, but I still don't think it's just an opportunity.
Let's try this one. I won't use radio. Let's just say, for example, there was you knew somebody that knew a well-known producer.
Okay.
We all mutual friends. That person has a direct line to them. We're cool. All of us are cool. But that person chooses not to, give you that direct line to the person that might be able to change your whole entire trajectory. Like, why would somebody try to hoard that is what I'm saying.
I don't think it's hoarding. I think
hoarding might be the wrong word, but
no, but I think that it's
because I feel y'all on the show part. I understand the part like Terry said. That's
trying to be a gatekeeper.
Right.
I think
I think sometimes
the Fabolous situation, what he's talking about is if you have that opportunity,
right,
and you're put in place, look, Timberland is going to be at this studio.
Right.
I need you to come in here and do what you do.
Right.
And you show up and you don't seize the moment. I think that's more so what he's talking about.
No,
yeah, I can see that.
I see what he's saying. That's why I said twofold, because there's an other side of it. But to your point, Terry, for what he's saying, 100%.
Well, the other side of what he was saying is, why would you just give somebody the money? That's the Jay-Z part of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The conversation we had not too long ago, because he brought that up too. As far as if I want to put you in a position to win, why would I pay you? Like, essentially, I'm giving you money.
Right.
Versus just putting you in a position to show what you can actually do. And he's speaking from his experience. He was put in front of Clue.
Right.
And he had to do what he had to do because he said that I didn't have the same resources that a Jay-Z had. I didn't have the same resources of
the story that 50 had.
50, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get in there and prove that I'm really about this rap life. And he seized the moment. I think he's more so speaking towards people that may have been put in those positions
and didn't
capitalize off of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know if these type of opportunities are presenting themselves around the country or the world because we're not in these rooms.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't really speak on this isn't happening anymore because I'm sure it still is, and people are still dropping the ball, and some people are still seizing the moment. So I don't know.
Because I think what I don't want you guys to get confused is I understand what Fab was saying. The part that I put on there was just from personal experience, just as an aside to what he's talking about, still related to the topic of getting opportunities. That's all that was. But I get 100% what you're saying and what he's talking about because you have to capitalize on it. It's on you if you don't. So I get the part.
I will also say that I don't think anybody is owed anything.
That's a good point.
To a degree, like when it comes to giving out opportunities, like sure, I have personally put people in places to win many times.
Facts.
And I've been put on by people as well. But there's another piece that's at play is like when somebody hits me up, like there's responsibility with knowing your friends and knowing people that do things. If I have a relationship with you, Mike, just because I'm friendly with this person over here, which I do know people like this that are rappers that are good, but they're not prepared to be in a situation that this other person is in. You're up here, this person is down here. And sure, I could put you two together, but it might waste your time.
I respect that.
And I think that's the part that sometimes, we may not understand that, or maybe you wouldn't understand in that particular position, or maybe even me in a particular position that sure, we do know the plug, but maybe we're not from that person's perspective. Maybe we're not in those positions to be ready to be at where we think we should be too.
I can respect that.
And I think when it comes down to an individualist standpoint from that, one-on-one or my plug or the people that I know, I only put people in those positions when I think it makes sense. So that's what I would say to that.
I got you.
And I don't think that that's gatekeeping. I think that is just being respectable and from that perspective.
That's actually showing good intentions.
Yeah. Like if I have a young producer friend that really wants to work with an artist that I know, I'm not going to put them in contact with them unless their beats are really up to par to where they need to make sense to give them to them. Like I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Or maybe they're just not, maybe it's to protect them because they're not ready to deal with that type of business yet, or something to that manner, wherever they're at. But back to the original point to what Terry was saying,
right?
And then I'll get out the way. I think it should be both. The Fabolous thing. I think, get the opportunity, but pay as well. When you say something like that, it really opens up the potential for people to abuse somebody else based upon just like, oh no, it's just like, no, the opportunity is there. Don't worry about getting paid. No, like it depends on what it is. Like if you're going to get on stage, you should probably be getting paid for it. If you're going to be in studio and you're going to record a verse with a producer and the producer's going to put this record out, no, you should get paid if this record gets out there and it's doing things. The producer shouldn't eat all that money. Like to the example we were saying earlier, I think it should be a combination of both. And I feel like that can be a little misleading for those that don't know, but I would agree that opportunities are more important if you know how to capitalize on them, because they don't come around all the time, and that's depending on what they are.
That's what Jay, you were saying earlier. You were talking about, you were speaking to a lack thereof opportunities,
I think,
right?
Look, I have a different perspective just because, at one point, say you got into the booth and somebody could put you on wax,
right,
and then you could sell these now, okay, everything now, and this might be dipping into something else. Everything is about subscriptions, memberships,
Right.
and licenses.
Right.
You're not selling anything. Even if you decide that you're going to, even if somebody says this person's dope, they have to find a way to market you and create money based on your talent that has nothing to do with you actually being good.
Right.
Okay. So your opportunity may not even come from you being talented. It's just, you might have something that somebody can sell. Now, that's always been the case, but a lot of times commerce was connected to talent. That's not what happens anymore, because so much of what commerce is about what you can do to connect to the people. And unfortunately, talent is not what always connects to the people. So when Fabolous, he came out like, he was like, oh, we could sell some CDs with this kid. He's talented. He's a rapper. Now, if you find somebody who may not be particularly talented, but you're like, we could sell this and we could create a deal with McDonald's and maybe T-Mobile or whatever. Like, that's how we're going to get our money from this person.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have really anything to do with their talent. It's just like, what can we sell here?
Right.
Or their records. There's
absolutely, there used to be a real relationship between, it was called radio and records. And like, now you don't have that because nobody's selling any records. You're selling licensing opportunities. You're selling memberships. You're selling subscriptions. And these things are not the same as actually selling a physical product. And so, like, you look for different things. So Fabolous is speaking from the old model of, if I can get on, people see my name, even on an underground level. They see my name on a 𝐀𝐄𝐂 mixtape. They might pick up that 𝐀𝐄𝐂 mixtape. And then eventually, when I get signed to a record label, they'll actually want to buy my album. Is there opportunity there? Can people take advantage of opportunity? But it's so much different in what the criteria for what you'd give an opportunity to somebody for.
Yeah, Spotify playlisting and stuff now.
Exactly.
It's like,
in another era, there are rappers who are popping right now who wouldn't have a chance because they're not talented enough. But because they have an image that we could market, that we could sell these subscriptions and licenses and memberships for, that's different than saying, can we sell them a CD? And so shout out to Fabolous for making the statement. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand where he's coming from.
There's some truth in there.
There is some truth in there.
Definitely
but
some truth in there.
When I see when you can look at culture happen in real time, and you see what is popping right now. Remember when Common Sense at the time, he said, if you can get an image and a gimmick. And like, he was saying that not from a point of, admiring people who have image and gimmicks. But right now, if you got an image and a gimmick, somebody's going to give you 50 pieces of silver.
It may not last.
It may not last. It doesn't have to, because like the whole thing is they're going to move on to the next person that can create an opportunity for me to sell my subscriptions, my memberships, and my licenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what Fab is talking about is a little different. I think that kind of goes towards like the person that's a one-stop shop. I'm doing everything myself, versus somebody that is strictly about the music and just needs that opportunity to be put in a position to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what he's really saying, if I have a chance to pay you for something, or I can put you in front of people that may be able to further your career, then choose that. Right. It's like show money. Like, you can make some money at the end of, let's say you do a show, right? You make $30 for a show or $50. Well, you can go buy pizza with that money, or you can put that in the savings account.
Yeah.
It's the same idea.
Or even like the same way with kind of like Eminem in the Game. Game was discovered by pretty much somebody saying this dude can rap very well. Dr. Dre hearing, okay, this dude can rap very well. Let's get him in the studio, see what he can do. And then he, he capitalizes on that situation. Same way with Eminem. He got a tape. He listened to it. He's like, damn, this dude is good. Hit him up. Let's see if we can get him here. He got there and he showed his ass. So it's like, once you get in those positions, make sure that you're ready, essentially.
For sure.
Versus not being prepared, because he was saying like he's giving somebody, like he used the example of giving somebody a chance and they're in the studio and they're smoking and cutting up the whole time versus actually getting to work and showing these cats what you can do. And then at the end of the day, you blame it on, well, I was trying to get in my vibe and this, that, and the other.
There's some people who think they've made it just because they made it to the studio.
Right.
Okay. And then, you know, exactly. I've seen it to where people
think we all have.
They've made it to the studio. They're in there, like they smoking and drinking and like they think it's a party. And then once, you know, the music they puts out is trash, they're like, man, I wasn't, you know, once again, when you're not ready, when you're presented an opportunity, you're not ready. That's where excuses become generated.
But we could take it even locally, you know, like for a couple local dudes that have been doing it for a while, but think of 𝐻𝐿 and think of Jetty, right? Neither of these gentlemen were selected to be a part of Treese.
Right.
But then they did the
Jack Daniels
thing where it was like they got the show off. And then they did well. And then they went to Treese and did the same thing. And both of them have continued that momentum.
They're still
from
reaping
that
the benefits of that labor.
And they're continuing to the cipher that came out around, you know, as well. So they're taking that opportunity and they are doing what they should be doing with it. So
watching that in real time is really cool when you see opportunities not being wasted. And you see them manifest and turn into other things. It's really cool to watch that.
Especially when you kind of know these individuals and know that they've been built for it for a while.
Right.
And able to capitalize off of it.
And let's you know, keep it with the theme of everything. We don't have to say too much, but I mean, there's somebody sitting at this table that was a part of putting some of that, one of those people's on.
Somebody was.
You know, behind the scenes a little bit. So, you know, it's like,
it's
what
good.
It is.
It's good to see, man, because we've all established what we've established with assistance.
Right.
I don't care what level, where it was at, how it was. All of us here have been assisted to get to where we are.
Absolutely.
So when you can get to the point where you can try to pay that forward and then also get a chance to watch it, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling because, Lone, you made a very good point that I did not think about when you said the stars might not be aligned correctly for the opportunity. That's one of the realest things I've ever heard you say, because it might not be the time. Now, everybody may not think like that, but it shows that you actually care about the person when you think that way.
I have been on both sides of that.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
I've been in positions where, like, why did you go there? You know, like,
exactly.
But at the same time, I've been in the other situation as well. Everybody sitting at this table has put people on in a variety of capacities.
Facts.
Probably a lot more than most people that you've ever talked to.
Yep.
And, you know, it's delicate. It's a delicate situation sometimes because you're dealing with multiple things moving on. But for everything that I've said about us putting people on, I know for a fact that I've been put on a bazillion times as well.
Right. Talk about
exactly.
And so it's, you know, different plugs for different reasons, and it's all about being prepared in those opportunities and being able to willing to give them back out and to respect people that, you know, in that same manner. So
you know what I think gets lost sometimes, and I feel like a while back we may have hinted on this, but I think sometimes what gets lost in the sauce is what type of person you are and how much that plays into opportunities that you might get. Because if you're an asshole, the looks are not going to be the same.
I've said this repetitively.
Yeah, like, you know, we've talked about that before, and I don't think people really grasp how important it is in terms of how you treat people, because this conversation right here is where that comes into play.
I have legitimately put people on shows that they didn't even know, simply because I thought they were good people and they were good fits.
Right.
And I showed up to the show and I was like, I told one dude one time, I was like, you know, I got you on this show. I was just kind of joking with him. I was
not
like,
to stun or nothing.
I think the conversation naturally went there. He's like, I don't even know how they reached out. I was like, well, they reached out to me and I told them that you would be good for it and something like that. And so it's like, you just never know, like, just being, again, I've said this many times in the show, the most important part of all this is just being likable.
Yeah.
You just have to be likable.
You'd be surprised how far that goes.
If you're not likable, you're going to miss out on so many opportunities.
I've said it before. Manners will take you where money will not.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's facts.
Nah, man.
So keep being cool. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, stay out the way.
And I'm an asshole. So don't be an asshole.
Shout out to Kanye.
Definitely. Well, yeah.